see. And when you grew up in your country, what is the general attitude of people there towards education? How do they feel about it? That it's very important, or that it's somewhat important, or how would you compare that?
Well, to phrase it in this way, the reason why my mom didn't go to school because his dad considered the French school as they were the colonizators.
Hmm.
You know, it was like a rebellious act.
Yeah.
You know, so doesn't matter. They didn't care about how important school was.
Mm.
You know, just to refuse to cooperate
Just out of
with
rebellion.
yeah, exactly.
Independence.
Yeah, exactly.
From the French.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Because my mom was, she's 74 right now.
Wow.
So, and this is, you know, the way people were looking at school. But, you know, it did change. Even with my father generation, you know, his dad was educated, so which was very different.
Mm.
You know, so it was very different. So they didn't have it, but no female, no female were left by their parents to go to school.
Mm.
Very few.
Wow.
Today I don't know, but when I was leaving, the education, the alphabetization was, you know, the percentage was very, very, very low, very, very low. The villages, the small towns, they were falling behind. They still, you know, didn't see the need of sending their kids to school, especially for religious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them would rather send their kids to a Quranic school, which is teaching them the Quran, than sending them to what they call the Tubab school. The Tubab is the white school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how we used to call it there.
Tubabi.
Tubab. Tubab is white. That's in our language.
Ah.
So, but like I say, I don't know today. You know, the last time I went home was about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I spent about maybe not even 3 weeks, 18 days. So I didn't get a chance to really focus about the school. And what I know today, according to people that I'm in contact with them, the public school is fairly big time. You know, right now, if you don't take your school to private school, forget about his education.
Wow.
You know, that's very sad. When I was going to school, that was the public school.
Mm-hmm.
That was the elite.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Even though I went to a Catholic school, private school, but the public school was the elite.
Wow.
You know.
And now it's the opposite.
Now today, that's the opposite.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have a lot of. Today they have a lot of university, private university, in the capital. You know. And it was only one when I was there.
Wow.
Only one university.
Wow. And when you left, why did you leave?
Well, in fact, when I graduated from that institute where I get my degree in computer programming, you know, I remember we used to have a lot of problems. If you have a PC that is broken, or, you know, any kind of technical problem with the computers, we will, the school owners, the institute will get somebody from France, because nobody could do the repair at home. So I thought about it. I said, I'll probably go do that, you know, and come back home and, you know, do the repair myself instead of having them. So, and that's basically what was one reason that was behind for me to decide to come to the U.S.
Yeah. So you
I came here as a student. Yeah.
Straight from Senegal.
From Senegal to New York City.
To New York City.
Yeah, I was admitted in school there, and for my English, you know, it took me about a month, and I realized that I was paying too much money, you know,
Yeah.
and what they were teaching me, I knew that already.
Boy.
You know, the only problem that I have was that I just need to open my ears and listen more, because American, the way they speak was very fast, and they have a lot of expressions. They call them idioms.
Yeah.
I had a book back then about idioms, and I went ahead and learned it. And after I learned it, I went back to school and I did a test, English test, and I was accepted to that institute where I follow up with my computer, you know, studies. So when I finished my cumulative grade was 4.0,
Wow.
and the school tried so hard to find me a job, but they could not because of my status. I was just a student,
Hmm.
you know. So, and I decided to sell African art.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what get me to San Antonio.
is that right?
Yeah,
Wow. That's amazing. Wow.
yeah, that's really the reason why I came to San Antonio. Otherwise, it never crossed my mind.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And so before you came into the US, you knew how to read and write English, like you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had
before you got
about
here.
I had about almost 7 years, because from my first year in high school all the way to my last year, which was 7 years,
Mhm.
I always have English classes,
Mhm.
even though it was not that enough, to be able to master the language.
Mhm.
But at least, it gives some basic, knowledge of the language, So you could write essay,
Mhm.
you know, and some of them were good at it. To be honest, I was not as good as those guys back in high school. They have more interest in the language than me.
Mhm.
So I was more, focused in science, mathematics, than any other thing, in fact. But some of them were really good at it. Yeah, even though the environment, was not there, because even we don't even speak French outside the class. We speak our own language.
Really?
Once we get out the class, we speak our own language.
So French was only for school?
Yeah,
at
only
home?
for school. At home, we speak our own language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about now here in the States?
You just said me and my wife, we speak the same language.
And what is the language called?
It's called Wolof.
Wolof.
Wolof is Wolof.
Wolof.
And in fact, there are some books. I have a friend. He's in Boston University. He told me about it. And on UCLA, they have a lot of programs where they have collected those books. In fact, I have one here. It's in Wolof,
Mhm.
English, and French.
Wow.
And there are a lot of what's the name again? They send them throughout Africa. It's a program. They learn the local language. It's not Red Cross. It's man, how can I forget that?
Mm.
And most of them, they use this kind of books.
With the different translations in it.
No, it's English even. I just forgot the word.
Mm.
Yeah, it's different translation. It's Wolof and the local language, because it's not just Wolof that is being spoken in Senegal. There are about maybe 10, 20 other different languages.
Wow.
Every group, the French, they call them ethnie, but I call it language because it's written, and spoken. It's a language. It's a tool of communication.
Mhm.
No different to any other language. Even though it's been spoken by maybe 20, 50,000 people, but it is still a language.
Right.